Good morning, everyone. I hope that you found your seats easily, and I hope that as you look around, you see a few familiar faces, and I'm sure there's some that's not as familiar as others. And for that, I want to introduce myself. My name is Mrs. Hyatt. I know y'all haven't ever seen me here. This is my first year here, and you are my first group of students. I'm so excited to be teaching, and I have wanted to be a teacher since I was in kindergarten. So being able to finally start doing it, I'm really excited about it. So I want to get to know who you are, and I want you to get to know who I am. So we're going to play a game where first you get to know who I am, and it's called You Ask the Questions. I'm going to write a few words and numbers on my board, and then you're going to ask questions to try to figure out what those words and numbers are. So here are my words and numbers. It's beach, Blakeland, coffee, 22, fishing, Mount Airy, pineapple, and 3. Would anybody like to take a shot at trying to figure out what one of these are? Okay, go ahead. Speak up, I can't hear you.
You are 22 years old?
Very good, I am 22 years old. So since you got that one right, let's put a check on it. Perfect. Alright, anybody else want to try for another one? Alright, go ahead. Alright, since we have answered all of them and you figured them all out, some of them was a little more difficult than others, we will go over it just so that I can talk a little bit more in depth with it. So, we have Blakeland. She is my little sister. She means a lot to me. I felt like she was important to share with y'all, so that's why I put her on here. Me and her are 12 years apart, so I basically raised her, so I feel like she's mine, even though she is just my little sister. Alright, the beach. That is my favorite place to go on vacation. It's so relaxing, put my toes in the sand, swim in the water. I just love it. And I know a lot of y'all started giggling, and smiling because y'all too like the beach. Coffee. As you saw when you came in this morning, I was drinking my coffee. Here it is. I love coffee. It keeps me going, keeps me awake, it tastes good. But don't drink coffee till you're older. Alright, we got Mount Airy. I live in Mount Airy. Short and simple. I know a few of y'all said that y'all raised your hand and said that y'all also lived in Mount Airy. Pineapple. This is my favorite fruit. I didn't really realize that I liked pineapples until one day I accidentally ate it in a school lunch. And then I was like, oh my gosh, what is that? And one of my friends was like, you ate a pineapple. And I was like, I love those. So it's kind of really how it happened. 3. I have 3 pets. We have Comet, Cupid, and Chet. They're all named after reindeers. Chet is a reindeer from Santa Claus, the movie. And then Comet and Cupid are just famous reindeer, as y'all would know. And then fishing. Some of you boys were a little shocked that me, a girl, and a teacher likes to go fishing. Well, let me tell you, I put my own minnow on the hook, which is a live bait. I put my own worm on the hook, which can be slimy and dirty. And I take my own fish off of the hook. So girls can fish too, and I'm pretty good. And then 22, which was the very first one you got right. I'm 22 years old. And once again, I'm so happy to be able to be your teacher. So, now it is time for me to get to know you. Since you know a little bit about me now, I want to know a little bit about you. So, we're going to play a game called Four Corners. There's 4 corners in our room. So, each corner will be labeled something, and then you will choose which corner you want to go to, depending on which label you like the best. So the first one that we are going to do will be like, where do you like to go on vacation? My far back right corner is going to be the mountains. My far back left corner is going to be the lake. My front left corner is going to be the beach, and then my front right corner will be just staying at home. You watch Netflix, you cuddle with your animals, short and simple type thing. Nothing wrong with that, by the way. So when I say go, I want you to stand up and choose a corner. But remember, when you get into the corner, the people that are in that corner with you, you want to have a conversation with them. You want to get to know them. Why do they like to go to the mountains? Why do they like to go to the beach? What do they do when they're there? So you want to get to know a little bit more about the reason why your other classmates chose that corner, and they want to know why you chose that corner. Y'all could have something in common and not even know it. So when I say go, stand up and choose a corner. 1, 2, 3, go. Alright, I hope that everybody enjoyed the Four Corners game. Now it's time to settle down, so I'm going to demonstrate what we're going to do throughout the year whenever I need y'all to settle down. We're going to go like this. And then you will repeat, going. You're just mocking exactly the way that I clap, you will clap. Alright, so let's try it. Very good. Alright, so everybody come to your seat and sit down. Alright, so now that everybody's settled down and ready to listen, let's go around the room, and I know things about you, like whether you like to go to the beach, or if you like apples, or if you like pineapples like I do. I know different things like that, but I need to know your name so I can put the information with your name. So we're going to go around the classroom, and you're going to say your name, and then you are going to say something, anything, an animal, a food, an activity that starts with the first letter of your name. That way, whenever I'm not really sure about what your name is, maybe I can remember the other one. Like if somebody's name was Anthony and they said Anthony and then they said Ant, I'd be able to remember Anthony. So let's go around the room and try that, and we will start on the left and go all the way around to the right. Alright, go ahead and you start for me, please. Alright, our last person, give me your name and something to go along with it.
Frank Frog.
Very good, Frank Frog. Alright, I'm going to go around the room and I'm going to see if I remember any of y'all's. Alright, let's see. Summer, Sun, and then Lily, Pad, Bridget, Bridge. Looks like I'm only remembering the girls. Let's see if I know any boys. Dodson, Dobson. About had me confused on that one. And then Frank Frog. I should remember that one. We just did it. One more boy. Let's see if I can remember. Bryson. Is that right? Awesome. Good. Yay. Alright. I will work on everybody else's name. I do have a list of y'all's names. I just gotta put the name with the face. So y'all bear with me this week while I remember y'all's names. Alright, now we are going to go over some class signals. Anytime that we need something done, or we want to get up and go do something, like go to the bathroom, sharpen a pencil, something like that, we have signals that we can do. So behind me is this list, and this list will be hung up all year long in case y'all need to look at it to see what a signal is. Alright, we are going to go over each one of these. There's 6 of them in total. We're going to go over each one, and you're going to practice. Alright, so as it says, a pencil, you put up one finger. Alright, so pencil, one finger. It's kind of straight like a pencil. You can remember it like that. Alright, if you need to go to the restroom, you cross your fingers. You can remember that by sometimes when you have to go to the bathroom, you cross your legs. So you cross your fingers if you need to go to the bathroom. Alright? Anytime you need a tissue to like blow your nose, we put up 3 fingers. Alright? For a tissue. If we have a question, I bet y'all know what this one is. Let's see if any of y'all know what it is without looking at the thing. Very good. We raise our hand with all 5 fingers. Alright? Whenever we're doing work and you're not quite done with it yet, and I say something like, alright, let me see who is still working and who's done. Those of you who are still working will do your thumb but in the middle, and those of you who are done, you give me a thumbs up. Alright? So let's practice those a few times so that maybe we can remember them. I know a few of them, you have a trick to remember it. Kind of like whenever you're halfway there, alright? That's kind of how you can remember I'm still working. I'm halfway there, I'm still working. And then all the way up is you are done, 100% finished. Alright, so let's practice those as a class. Alright? Pencil, 1 finger, restroom, cross. Tissue, 3, question, 5. Still working in the middle. You're finished, done, you got it, thumbs up. Alright, one more time. Pencils, 1, restroom, cross. Tissue, 3, question, 5. Still working in the middle. You've got it, you're done, thumbs up. Very good. And again, if y'all forget some of those and you don't remember the trick, we always have the poster up here for you to look at. Alright, the next thing after our classroom signals that we really need to remember, that's really important, almost more important than the classroom signals, would be the classroom rules. Alright? We have 7 rules which are very important. And I think that it would probably be best if you wrote them down, just so as you write, you're both listening, you're writing, and you will have it in your book to look back on, and we will have it up here for y'all to reference anytime that y'all need to. Y'all can look up here if you're not sure of a rule, and you will know it then. So let's go over them. Rule number 1 is to follow directions. It is really important to follow directions at all times. The reason that directions are given is so that you will know what you are doing, so that something doesn't happen, like you don't get hurt, or you don't get lost, or you won't do a question wrong because you read the directions. Simple as that. So just always remember, always follow directions. It's not hard. It's probably easier to follow directions than to not follow directions. And anytime any of these rules are broken, there's always a consequence that follows. So it's just easier to do what you're told than to get in trouble. Alright, rule number 2 is raise your hand for permission to speak. So anytime that we are having a discussion, or I'm in the middle of a lesson and I'm explaining something to you, if you don't understand something, raise your hand immediately. Just raise it and I will call on you, and you'll be able to tell me what your question is, or your concern, or what came to mind, or whatever. So it's really important to follow this direction, because it's hard to hear everybody if everybody's talking at the same time. So we want to make sure that we are always raising our hand before we talk. So that's rule number 2. Rule number 3 is to raise your hand for permission to get out of your seat. This one's important because if everybody's just getting up all the time whenever they want, then it's going to be hard to know what's going on, and you might run into each other, or you might lose something. It's chaos whenever everybody's running around the room, sharpening a pencil that's loud, and then going in and out of the room, and I don't know who's in class and who's not in class. So it's really important to always raise your hand, ask me before you get up so I know exactly what you're doing before you go and do it. Alright? Rule number 4, work and play in a safe manner. This means that anytime you're working on a project together as a group, or by yourself, or if you are on the playground playing, or if we are in centers and we're playing, you are doing it safely, because that is a very important thing to do. Is we always want to make sure that we are playing nicely and working nicely with our classmates, and we don't ever want anybody getting hurt. So it's important to make sure that whatever you're doing, you're not being rough or you're not being rude to each other, because even saying hurtful things is not playing or working in a safe manner, because you're hurting somebody's feelings. It might not be on the outside, it's on the inside, so you're still hurting somebody, and that's not safe to do. Alright, number 5, work quietly and do not interrupt or disturb others. So this means that when I'm talking, you are not talking, and when you're talking, I'm not talking. So these rules apply to me in a way as well, because I want to model for you exactly how you should act. So if you were talking and then I start just talking over top of you, then that's not going to be really nice, is it? No. So we don't want to do something to somebody else that we wouldn't want done to us. So be sure that whenever someone else is talking, we're always paying really close attention to what they're saying, because it could be a question that you had but was too afraid to ask, and because you're not listening, you still didn't find out the answer even though that question was asked. So it's very important to not interrupt or disturb somebody while they're talking or working. Alright? Rule number 6, come to class prepared and ready to learn. I really like this one because it's important that whenever we step through the doorway into class, we are ready. We've got our pencil, we have our minds ready, because sometimes we're still sleeping, and that's okay. We'll do morning work each morning to open up y'all's minds, and I just want y'all to be ready to learn, because learning can be so much fun, and I hope that this year you will find that out, that learning can be fun, because we're going to do a lot of things that y'all do hands-on, and you're really interactive and involved in the learning, not just taking notes and stuff. So make sure that when you come to class, you are ready to learn. You're prepared with the right paper and your binder, your folders, your pencil, anything you need to learn, you have it and you're ready. Now, number 7 is my all-time favorite. It's the most important one on here. All of them's important, but this one is a special kind of important. It is always do your best. Everybody's not good at everything, so we have to make sure that we understand that as long as I tried my best on this and I gave it everything I had, I gave it not only 100% but 110%, then whatever grade or result that you get out of that, you knew that you earned it, and that is what you deserve, because you gave it every piece of you that you had. So it's really important to always try your best. Even if you're not good at something, you always want to try your best. So those are our 7 classroom rules, and I hope that all of y'all were able to write them down. If not, you can always come up here and write whatever ones you did not get to have wrote down. The next 2 things I want to talk about is in the front of the class. I don't have one today because today's a little different than what most days are going to be, but we will have a classroom daily schedule, and each day it'll probably be different. It will list everything that we're going to do that day, and what order and time we will be doing it. For example, it will say something like morning work, math, history, lunch, centers, science, playtime, snack, you know what I mean, and it'll give the time for each one of those. So that was just off the top of my head. but it will say something like that, and so that gives you the chance to know exactly what to be prepared for, so that you can follow rule number 6 and be ready for it. Next is everybody will have a classroom job. This job you will keep for 1 week and then it changes. Up on the wall I have a list of all of the different jobs that you can have, and your name will be stuck to the job that is yours, and after a week your name will be changed. So we have jobs like line leader, the caboose, which is in the back of the line. We have door holders, bathroom monitors, trash cleanup, paper passer-outers, different stuff like that. Smart board monitor, who helps me turn the smart board on and off. Dry erase board eraser. You will go up there and erase the board for me whenever I ask. It's all kinds of fun jobs like that, and we all get a chance to do them. So I hope that y'all will enjoy the jobs that we get. It will help y'all feel like you're a part of the class, because we are a part of each other. We're going to be with each other all year, so we're going to become a family. So we all need to help each other out in any way that we can. Something else that I want to talk about is the way that we will kind of, in a way, communicate without words is our class board. This is our class board. It says, Mrs. Hyatt's class, alright? And then it will have y'all's number on it, alright? So you were given a number with your name, which means that, like, let's see, Summer, you are number 7. So you would take the number 7, and if you had to go to the bathroom, you would put your number in the bathroom area, alright? And so the person who is number 9, if they had to go to the office, they would put theirs in the office. Now, anybody who is not here one day, like, they will, well, they won't because they're not here, but I will go and I will move their number to the absent area, so that I will know very quickly who's here and who's not here whenever the front office calls to ask me who's absent today. And I will be able to be like, oh, number 2, and I'll see exactly who number 2 is, and it'll go by quickly. And then everybody who is in class is in Mrs. Hyatt's class. So these people are inside, sitting at their desks in the classroom, you know. And then these people are outside of the class. This person is not at school at all. We also have the resource room, which is used for different reasons, such as we have speech therapy is the other one. But the resource room can be used for refocus, like a timeout if you need it. Extra testing time, you could go in there. They have, some students have to go and have special lessons, and they get to go to the resource room. And in the speech room, a few kids get to go to speech. So anytime that they leave and that teacher comes to get you, be sure that you take your number and you move it, so that whenever I am going over the class, I'm like, oh Lord, where did Frank the Frog go? I'll be like, oh yeah, he's at speech. Okay? So it's very important that we really use this, and we remember to always move our number to the place in which we are.